Hi guys, I know you can't see me, but that's because I really like the illustrations in this book. And while I'm reading, I would like you to see them as well. This is called The Girl Who Named Pluto. It's the story of Venetia Burney, and it is written by Alice B. McGintley, and it's illustrated by Elizabeth Hadel. I like this page too. Look at all those constellations. The Girl Who Named Pluto, the story of Venetia Burney. Out of the classroom, down the hallway, and out the door, Venetia Burney and her schoolmates followed their teacher, leaving their British schoolhouse behind. It is the year 1930, and they are counting their steps from the sun, a circle drawn on their classroom blackboard. 39, 40, 41. Miss Claxton leads, her words as precise as her footsteps. At exactly 41 paces from the sun, they lay down a birdseed. Mercury. Let's see here. At 77 paces, they place a pea. Venus. Next, a larger pea. Earth. After placing a bead for Mars and an orange for Jupiter, the largest planet, they stop at 1,019 paces, inside University Park. There, they lay down a golf ball, Saturn. There are two more planets in the solar system, Uranus and Neptune. But Miss Claxton tells her students that they are too far away. She will let their imaginations finish the planet walk. When Venetia and her friends return to the park, later with lumps of clay for the planets, they run, counting paces to Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, all the way to Neptune. Venetia's imagination whirls, trying to fathom the real distances. She has memorized each number. Stormy blue Neptune orbits 2.79 billion miles from the sun. And what lies beyond? How far does the solar system reach? Venetia brings her questions to breakfast each morning, and Grandfather Madden answers as many as he can. She and Mother had been living with Grandfather since Venetia's father died. Old and stately like the Oxford Library where he was head librarian. Grandfather knows that questions lead to learning, and his family is afire with learning. How many moons does Saturn have? Where did the name Neptune come from? Why is Atlas stuck holding up the heavens? Who was the first person to discover Mars? Along with the planets, Venetia is learning about Greek and Roman gods. When she reads about Mars, the Roman god of war, she is reminded of her great uncle, Henry Madden, a science master who named the two moons orbiting the planet. He chose Phobos and Deimos, Mars's twin sons. Moons and planets named from legends. What a marvelous link between science and story. 9 moons had been discovered so far, from the Roman god of the sea, because Zeus punished Atlas. Nobody knows, but Galileo saw it first by telescope. At breakfast one Friday, as Grandfather sifts through the newspaper, he starts to read aloud. A new planet, discovery by Lowell Observatory. Professor Harlow Shapley announced today that the Lowell Observatory at Flagstaff, Arizona, has discovered a 9th major planet. The planet, which has not yet been named, is beyond Neptune. A new planet? Venetia leans forward in her chair. Another lump of clay to add to their model. I wonder what it should be called, Grandfather says, his brow creased. Venetia's imagination takes off flying, leaping, connecting the dots from science to story. She knows this planet so far from the sun must be frozen, dark, and lifeless. It would be like the underworld. The underworld ruled in Roman myths by Neptune's brother, Pluto. It might be called Pluto, Venetia says. Grandfather's eyes widen. He loves the name. He tells Venetia that he'll share her idea with his friend, Professor Herbert Hall Turner of the Royal Astronomical Society. Perhaps he has a say in the decision. After Venetia leaves for school, Grandfather writes this note. Dear Professor, blessed if my little granddaughter, Venetia Burney, didn't up and suggest a name which to me seems thoroughly suitable. Pluto. Sincerely, Madden. On his way to the library, Grandfather drops off the note at the professor's home. Meanwhile, not far away, Venetia and her schoolmates are buzzing with excitement about the new planet. They fire question after question at Miss Claxton. How was it discovered? By whom? How many billion miles from the sun? How many paces beyond Neptune? Miss Claxton promises to find out. That evening, Venetia lies in bed, her mind adrift with Planet X. In a flurry of her thoughts spins one name, Pluto. Could it be the name for the new planet? Were the astronomers deciding now? Saturday morning dawns, and Venetia and Grandfather search the papers for more information about Planet X. Mostly, though, they wait to hear from the professor. That afternoon, a response arrives. My dear Madden, I got your note on my return from London. I think Pluto is excellent. We did not manage to think of anything so good at the Royal Astronomical Society yesterday. The professor's note goes on to say that he has written to the astronomers at Lowell about Pluto. It will be up to them to decide. A week goes by. At school, Venetia works on lessons in math, science, and history. At home, she and Grandfather keep busy, reading, playing, and waiting. Will the astronomers like her idea? March turns into April, and Venetia waits. April drags on. Outside, the trees sprout leaves, and Venetia waits. If Venetia could see what was happening across the ocean, she would find that Pluto has made its way through the doors of the Lowell Observatory to Clyde Tombaugh, the shy assistant who discovered Planet X. His first choice for a name? Pluto. Not only is it a perfect fit for his dark, icy world, but the first two letters are PL, the initials of the astronomer Percival Lowell, who began the search for the planet. Minerva, Persephone, Pluto. Finally, at the end of the month, the astronomers vote. It's unanimous. The ninth planet will be called Pluto. Yes, I, agreed. When Grandfather shares the news with Venetia, she beams, her eyes radiant. Grandfather sends a check to Miss Claxton, thanking her for teaching. With the money, the school purchases a gramophone and names it Pluto. Venetia is a hero. As Venetia grows, Pluto tilts and spins in a long, slow orbit around the sun. It shares the outer reaches of the solar system with other spheres newly discovered by astronomers. Venetia gets older and older still. Her hair turns silver. And one gray July afternoon, the day before her 89th birthday, she travels to the Observatory Science Center near the southern tip of England. She has been invited to view Pluto through a telescope, her first time ever. It's raining, though, and it takes a clear sky to see the dwarf planet. But as Venetia nears, the rain stops and the clouds begin to part. A lovely sunset fills the sky. How lucky. Later, the darkness twinkling with stars, Venetia and the scientists climb to the observatory's dome, where the 111-year-old telescope is waiting. The scientists locate Pluto, and Venetia puts her eye to the lens. "My God," she says in an awed voice. There it is, that icy sphere spinning 3.67 billion miles from the sun. So many places past Neptune, and its name is Pluto. So Venetia was a real person. This is a little bit of information on her. And then the bibliography. And then more constellations. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. You have a good rest of your day.